Good morning. Are you preparing? Outside, you probably are facing really cold weather, right? Was on a call just a few minutes ago with people from across the United States, and one of those participants in the call said they're at -1. Are you preparing or are you prepared? Are you got yourself all built into that particular framework, that moment that you're prepared for, that you're now sitting and waiting for it to happen? There are many instances where people have just set themselves up, got everything accomplished. Oh, remember 2001 when we were going to roll over to the millennium and everyone was preparing for total chaos because the world would end, because computer programs would not be able to go over that mark. There was a lot of work done in IT and people were building, this is the end of the world. I got to prepare. I got to bring all my stuff together because I'm going to be ready for the end of the world, for chaos, for people fighting in the streets, for all this rioting. And are you looking at life that way, where you get it all for that moment? You're going to get yourself prepared for the end of the world, and you're doing everything. You've closed all your accounts. You've pulled all these things together. You're huddled together and just waiting for that moment to occur. Or are you preparing yourself? Are you developing yourself? Are you growing into yourself? We were just reading The Last Arrow by Erwin McManus. It's a great book if you want to look at something that will up-level your thinking. As we're going through this book and thinking into what are we striking our last arrow on? And are we fervently striking that arrow? Good morning, Lisa. Welcome. Are you preparing or are you prepared? This is the question today. So I want to read, and I will read something from the chapter, from the end of the book, that I think is a good point to think about today. Great tragedy would be to live your life waiting for that moment to come instead of living your life preparing for when that moment comes. So again, that's that talking about, have you prepared yourself and you're just waiting for something to happen? Or are you living into some moment that will come? You're living into the moment of developing yourself, of exploring, of building a tribe together, of walking together towards the destination. In God's economy, nothing is wasted. So if you take umbrance with the use of God here, well, realize that Erwin is talking about his faith journey, but it can be applied to anything that we go through life, right? Nothing is wasted. So if we say everything you do today that seems insignificant, will find it significant. So that's what he's really talking about, is every little task that you have, every little thing that you might do you do it with a nod towards something greater, or do you do it complaining that it's below you, below your state? I remember in the concession stands, and I was leading a group of volunteers at the Packer games for our group, and we were selling concessions, hot dogs, brats, and beer, and other things. And at times, a couple of people felt it was below them to do cleanup or, clean the counters. Oh, we're too busy, and they're standing around not doing anything. They'd rather chat. But when you tell them, can you clean a counter? Well, I guess. I don't know. It's below. I'm here on this register. They're taking the register, being a person at the register above clean counters. There's a difference in state of duties. So are we saying this little insignificant thing of cleaning the counter, which would provide a good perspective for someone stepping up to the counter, that they see that it's cleanly and the place that they want to buy something from is below you, that might lead to a better conversation, better purchase, better repeat business, whatever it might be, right? So are you taking a state where maybe you need to write a letter and you say, wow, that's just not in my schedule. I'd really love to send this person a personal note, but it's just not, I don't have time for that. It's just not in the cards. It'll just have to wait, or, whatever. The person won't miss it because they won't know they're getting it. But that moment of that letter reaching their hands might be transformational, might be the thing they need at that moment. So your insignificant task may be of significance to someone. In Guatemala, we had this insignificance of helping people learn this facilitation method. But the significance of it was they were going through the process and they were learning, and they were bringing it in with them to determine what change they were going to make, how they were going to take the next week to improve their listening or improve how they were going to grow. Wouldn't that be something if you just go in and say, hey, well, this is the process, and people say, well, that's below me, I don't care about the process. Get me to the money, get me to the output, get me the results. How many times have we said, oh, I'm just going to wait until the money flows to me? Okay, so we should never see any task, Erwin writes on, as too small for you. If small is what you're entrusted with, that's your stewardship. Striking the last arrow is not only about seizing every opportunity. It is also about being the right person at the right moment. The moment requires action or even reaction. Those moments and actions are informed and fueled by who we are. Are we waiting? Are we preparing? Or are we just waiting for the moment? Are we just waiting for that moment for something to happen? Maybe you can tie it to like the lottery, right? Oh, I'm going to put this $2 in, and I'm going to win the 400 million or 700 million. I think it's almost up to 800 million for the Powerball right now. And I'm going to put that in and wait for the money to come in. And then I'm going to do stuff. Instead of realizing that you need to do some things, maybe the money will come, but maybe you need to do something that's more important this moment than placing your $2. Maybe that $2 can go help someone else get turned around and made into a contributor to society, because they just want that $2 that will help them change their mindset, help them move forward. Look at your team in work today. Are they waiting, or are they preparing? Are you developing? Are you ensuring that they are developing? Not just taking the compliance stuff and the courses that your organization might have built up to answer some perceived need. Are you helping them walk and develop? Beyond that, are you helping them to resolve what's going on in their world and help grow them to their next level, to their potential, to walking into something that will and continues to provide impact? We don't get to that point. We don't say, oh, I got all prepared, now I'm going to make an impact. You're making an impact long. So if you are just sitting there waiting for the event to come, as we talked about today, if you're just waiting for that event to come, you're missing the point. You got to be all in. You got to seize every opportunity. There is the right moment. Prepare along the way. You can't prepare once you're there. You can't prepare and say, I'm all ready, and that event never comes, because then it's just wasted effort. So grow towards the point that you want to be, towards the opportunity. Grow with your team. Grow with your tribe. Make a difference in the world, because you are preparing along the way. You're striking every arrow. You're putting your full into it. You're developing something of greatness together, and you will be changed. You will become what the group is. If you're associated with a group, you will become that group, because you are passionate about it. You're caring about the goal. You're caring about developing and reaching that point. Be well today. As we look at this new year and this freshness that comes alongside, what are you doing? What are you taking with you? Are you leading with freshness, even though it might be -1 outside and maybe crisp from the coldness? But how are you making it fresh? How are you keeping yourself with the right mindset, right attitude to deliver in to that point that you are called to do? You are called for something. You're called to find that one person. You are called to make a difference. But you can't just wait for that one person to show up. You might have to touch 1,000,000 people to find that one person. Maybe it's only 10, maybe it's only 100. Maybe you'd be lucky to find that one person. But if there's that one person, there might be another person. So just keep on going and make a difference today. Set the right mindset. Strike that last arrow with all your fervor and make it happen. Make it occur. And you'll be better for it. And you will find your point in life. Be well. Do good things. And we'll see you soon.